What up, Sleuths? This is Kathy Reisenwitz, and today I want to talk about, once again, licensure reform, occupational licensure. We love to hate it around here. So, Fox News is mad that Delaware is lowering the minimum score required to pass the bar exam. Chief Justice Collins J. Seats Jr., it's quite a mouthful, who Fox News reports began the diversity project that led to a report that suggested changes, said the bar exam is not supposed to be a barrier to entering the profession. Well, listen, Seats, I have news for you. That's exactly what licensure requirements are. That's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be barriers to entering professions. My friend, my acquaintance Wilfred Riley tweeted in response, the bar exam is literally supposed to be a barrier, which is true. You can die if your lawyer is a moron, which is true as well. The thing about it is, certification and licensure requirements across a wide range of occupations demonstrably don't keep you from dying. They don't improve health and safety, according to an Obama administration report. What they do guarantee is that fewer people get to enter these professions, and consumers pay higher prices for these services as a result. And so what's interesting is that if you want to hire a lawyer who's passed the bar exam, which is administered by what is essentially a guild for lawyers, whose purpose is to limit the number of lawyers who can legally practice law in order to keep wages high for lawyers, that's something that you should be able to do. But if I want to hire someone who hasn't gone through this rigmarole, that should also be my right. I'm just wondering, okay, so conservatives are mad because the requirements for the bar exam were lowered in order to basically get more Black people into the legal profession. Well, what if instead of getting mad that the barrier to entry was lowered, why not get rid of the barrier to entry entirely, right? This is a pro-freedom argument. This is getting rid of the bar exam requirements, licensure and certification requirements for the legal profession would get more Black people into practicing law, but it would also get more low-income white people into practicing law. And it would lower the cost of legal representation for all people. And of course, the lack of access to good representation is a problem that disproportionately impacts low-income and marginalized communities across all racial lines. One of the big problems in American society today is that in a lot of cases, whether you win or lose is determined more by the quality of your representation than the facts of the case. And so getting decent representation more readily available to more people, not only gets people into jobs that they would, otherwise be really great at, but can't afford to necessarily go to an accredited law school, which the American Bar Association limits the number of accredited law schools to, again, keep competition low and wages high, but then go through the lengthy and expensive process of going through the bar exam. I don't think this should be a Democratic priority. I think it should be, it's a fundamentally small government, pro-freedom, economic growth promoting policy. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, who's Republican, recently announced plans to fully remove 34 different outdated licenses from state government and eliminate 14 underutilized regulatory boards. I don't know, it's interesting that the left is supposed to be full of rich, well-educated coastal elites, while the right is for heartland, working-class Americans. But then when push comes to shove, the right is waging war on trans people and drag brunches and other culture war nonsense, rather than getting the working class back to work and getting decent legal representation available to a wider variety of Americans. This just seems like a huge opportunity for the right to put their money where their mouth is and make the world a better place. So instead of pushing to keep Black people out of the legal profession, I'm asking conservatives to push to get everyone who wants to do it and would do a good job in. And again, if you want to hire a licensed attorney who's passed the bar, nobody's going to stop you from doing that. But if you want to use word of mouth or reviews or some voluntary accreditation in order to choose your lawyer, that should be legal for you to do, in my opinion. If you want to see sources for my opinions and facts and get more of this goodness in written form, go to kathyreisenwitz.substack.com or Google Sex and the State. Thanks.